Welcome to Mr. Giant Reacts and Ting and Ting and Ting. I'm Mr. Giant, back with another video for you, back with another reaction. I watched a video the other day, and it talks about all the Serbian stars, the tennis players, the basketball players. There was part about the volleyball players. There was part about one of the a long jump, a lady long jumper that was pretty successful, and it talks about how Serbia is a surgeon sports superpower. You understand what I'm saying and thing? And a lot of people have explained to me about how, it is for people, how sports it is for people there, they grew up playing it. They're always outside playing it, kind of like the Caribbean. So I've heard about the crazy atmospheres at basketball games, and I may have reacted to one, but I heard this one is one of the crazier ones. So I'm gonna go ahead and check out this video here just to see what kind of crazy vibe is coming out of the how fans react and stuff. The pageantry behind the whole thing. Let's go ahead and YouTube and simmer and check this vibe out. It's a basketball game. It says NBA will never have anything like this. And from what I'm
The
seeing
NBA
there,
will never have this. An absolute spectacle unfolded in Belgrade in an exhibition game between Partizan and PAOK. This madness is a bucket list type of experience, and your boy was front and center covering this epic event. First
and
of all,
it's
the
an
court was
exhibition
under
game.
open sky in the
That's
middle
like
of
the
a
island.
ginormous rock formation, which is something unique and looks stunning.
All our basketball facilities were outside when I was growing up. No, I don't know if you had to pay to get in here, but you didn't have to pay to get in there because everybody just come, stand around the court. It's all outdoors because I think they played tennis and then on the other side is right next to there. So it was all outside. It was tropics, you know what I'm saying? And the court was like a skip and a jump from the beach. You finish playing, you're all hot and you're sweating and stuff, and you just run straight and dive into the ocean from there. So I understand playing on the outdoors like that at organized games because the national team played on those courts.
But trust me, we're just getting started. This is way before tip-off, and as always, a special standing ovation from the whole crowd goes to the legend Jatko Obradovic. The European Greg Popovich, for those of you that don't know him, the GOAT of the EuroLeague. And man, when the player announcement started, I got goosebumps. This is cinema. Partizan made one of the biggest moves in Europe by signing Jabari Parker, one of the best EuroLeague players last season.
Baseline. Here's Giannis. Finds out. That helps as well for the triple-double.
Yeah, that Jabari Parker. And they added another NBA name in Shake Milton. So I wanted to see if these guys are up for the challenge playing in this insane ambiance,
Look at that, man.
albeit at
They
home
going
and in an
nuts.
exhibition game. But as the game itself started, I was taken aback by this.
You can't hear anything.
The game almost took a backseat to this unbelievable performance from the crowd. And then, the shocker.
Oh man. Oh man. Wow. Does that happen at every, or is it every basketball game, or is it just for because it's an exhibition game that's happening? I mean, they just throwing, is that tissue, toilet tissue they're throwing on the court there? Look at that. It's, you know, for people who could appreciate pageantry, this is actually quite beautiful there. All those streams of stuff or streams or whatever it is just come flying into the stadium. They have to stop the game. You understand what I'm saying? That would like over here, that would really make players angry. You know, it's like, why would you want to do that, man? It's killing my vibe and stuff. And the players are just like, oh, hey, it's just another day at a Serbian basketball game.
Wow, just look at this majestic scene. I even got a direct
Majestic.
headshot from these paper rolls, but the adrenaline got me juiced up, so... Man, this energy
can't
is
help but join.
unexplainable.
Look at that.
Anyway, after a 5-minute break, the court is clean and the game can continue. So let's see what the new additions can do. This being a friendly game meant that everybody could get loosey-goosey and try stuff out. Well, except for Zhetko, he can't relax. His middle name is Intensity. Subs out a young player and grills him for a minute straight before tapping him on the butt, meaning no hard feelings, this is for your own good. But Obradovic wouldn't have too much to worry about as Partizan had control throughout the first half, securing a 7-point lead at halftime. And at the break, we got Super Bowl vibes here on the court with a mini concert, firing up the
That guy
crowd
looked like
even
Vladdy
more.
Divac did. But they bring out the whole band, boy. That's like football halftime there.
That was awesome, but nobody was prepared for what would take place right as the second half started.
Whoa! What is that? Is that sparkle or
Oh
something?
my goodness,
Yeah.
absolutely incredible. Man, I know the NBA is the elite of the elite, but this kind of magic would never ever happen, and Europe would always have this above the association. Game break again, the court disappeared in this smoke, and I went Tom Cruise on everybody, activating Ghost Protocol. Jokes aside, let's get back to some great basketball.
You know, every time I watch basketball games, sometimes I miss playing, but I miss just running down the court and laying up. I hated posting up. I hated it. Even though I was 7 foot tall, I hated posting up with a passion. My back against the rim, I hated that. That's one reason why I quit. I just couldn't get the, I could have done it. I did decent at it, but I hated it. I like to face up the person and, do my little thing, you know what I mean? And then go to the rim. But backing down and doing all of that, I hated that, man. That sucked. I played basketball in an era, but that's what all the big men did. It's just back, man, I'm 147 pounds. I'm not backing down any 300-pound, 7'2" player. I played against a 7-foot player. We had an exhibition against the University of Tennessee. Doug Roth was his name, I think. Big dude. I got beaten up down there, pushed around, shoved. I mean, I saw a little finger. Bloop, I was 147 pounds. My man was teaching me a lesson down there. I finally was like, okay, that's it. So I just I stopped posting up. I start, that little 10-foot jumper there. And he was big, so he was slow, There was another big guy that was like 7'6". It was in a school at Cincinnati, and I can't remember the name of the school. And same thing. That dude was pushing me around, and finally I was like, you know what, man? I don't care what the coach say. I'm gonna I didn't last long, man. I hated it. And now we have Wembenyama chucking up threes and stuff. You understand what I mean? And I'm like, man, I was doing that stuff back in the day. I'm not saying I was like him, but I was chucking up threes. I was dribbling balls through my legs, behind my back, doing all that stuff. And then I landed in college. They took it away. The atmosphere was, I went to a small college, right, and they could get loud now, but they really didn't have all that stuff like, stuff coming down on the court or smoke in the stands. They didn't have this type of pageantry at all.
Man, the fire coming out on every partisan 3 is next level. I would chuck up so many threes just trying to jumpstart that fire. Now speaking of chucking up, I promise you wouldn't believe all of the wild things this game had if it wasn't on video. Check this out. They had a half-court shot for 100,000 dinars. And I guess Martin Scorsese scripted everything today because are you kidding me? Of course the dude hits the half-court shot in an absolute madness of a game. Naturally, the fans explode in celebration and a young fella suddenly becomes a hero. So we somehow got to go back to regular basketball after all that. But these professionals would not be outdone by a half-court fling.
The crowd is still singing. It's like they're singing through the whole thing.
Mitar Bosniakovic. Save Milton. Zabari.
Oh. Okay, the crazy to come out there too, you know what I'm saying? I don't know why this is doing that. Man.
In a feel-out game where nobody was really looking at the score, Partizan wins and little old Stefan was invited for a post-game interview to recap this show. Man, what a day. I'll definitely remember this experience and I feel very lucky that this is just a 4-hour drive away from home. I'm definitely coming back to Serbia this season, and the last time I was here, I was courtside on a pre-game show with the EuroLeague. What a moment that was. If you haven't watched it, you gotta check out.
Wow, that's an atmosphere, man. It seems like they took the soccer atmosphere and dropped it in a basketball game. You know what I mean? Because I mean, okay, like you go to like a game back home and stuff, there's people with drums and people with the tire iron from a car that you put the wheel on, ticketing, 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 ticketing. The people are singing, you know. And then there's people with like buckets. They just play it and beat it and sing it and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And there's always one character on the sidelines that are cracking jokes. I remember one time I was playing this game, right? And boy, I was running up and down. I was doing my thing, you know what I mean? I wasn't like scoring. I wasn't a leading scorer or nothing, but I was running up and down doing my thing. And the ball was going outside. And I do so, and I kind of lean out and I toss it back in. And I remember that we call this guy Chicken. I don't know his real name, but he did look like a chicken. He caught the ball, you know, but he was sort of falling down. So instead of trying to pass it or something, he just bounced it off my chest and it went out. I'm telling you, that hit my chest and it's like, go dump. I was so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed. And the whole crowd erupted, you know what I mean? Everybody's laughing at the big, tall, skinny guy, you know, Mr. Giant just got embarrassed. But I used to love playing, man. I used to love playing. And the thing about it is I like the freedom of playing sports. Even when I played soccer, I like running up and down the field better than I like kicking the ball. You know what I'm saying? I used to play midfield. Sometimes I used to play forward sometimes, but I'd sprint all the way back just to be in the defensive thing because I like running so much, and then sprint all the way back up, just, you know. I just like the freedom of playing, you know what I mean? And like a lot of people was saying that, you know, kids are playing sports everywhere, you know, on the streets and stuff like that. That's how it is in the Caribbean. On the island, we in the middle of the street playing cricket. You know, we have a pan set down, homemade bat, tennis ball. We call it a wind ball, and we be playing with that. If we don't have a football, we just fold up a bunch of socks and make a football, and we playing. Even in the house, we do it. You know, playing football in the house. We didn't have a ball, but we use socks, and we just do stuff like that. You know, and my brother boxed for a while, and I tried to box for a while until I got punched in the face. And I was like, nope, nope, that's not for me. You know, my oldest brother went to the 1984 Olympics on the boxing team, for the Grenadian boxing team. You know what I'm saying? So I had two older brothers, so that's what we did. You know, we just boxed, you know, play cricket on the beach, play soccer on the beach, played volleyball, tennis, badminton, even table tennis. They call it ping pong here. That was like really competitive there. You know, I swam. You know, I did track and field from my high school, Wesley College. You know what I mean? Like I said, played cricket, football, you name it. We all did it. You know what I mean? There's a place back home called the Guides Hut where we used to just a whole group of us used to just go play cricket every day. And some people did football there, but I didn't play football there. Then there's another place behind the Presentation Brothers College, another high school. Man, I haven't thought about that place in years. We used to just go there, a group of us, and play cricket. Not cricket, but soccer back there. I have to go check those places out. I hope they're still there. Well, not I know the school is still there, but that's the place where we used to play. And you could look down on the city from where we play. And there's a wall there, so you know you're not gonna fall over. But you know, and then I remember there was a guy called Sleepy that was playing, and he was good at football too, but he loved basketball. So he'd be playing football and he'd look down in the city, and in the city there's an open air court, basketball court right there, and they start playing basketball, and he just lost interest in football. You know what I mean? He's itching to go down there and play some basketball. You know, so yeah, you know. And I was talking to somebody too, and I was telling them, on the island, I was a nerd, but I played all those sports. We didn't have like cliques where you have the nerds and the athletes and the this and the gamers and the this and that. Everybody played everything. Everybody did everything. Everybody studied hard. Everybody played sports. Everybody did we did everything. There wasn't any segmenting a vibe and thing. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, drop a like on the video, commenting below, tell me what you think. In the meantime, take care of each other. Let's try to bring some peace to this world, okay?